Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mechanoid Dragon, and today we are playing Mutant Uprising. It's supposed to be a horror game, but I don't know how this game necessarily works. We'll go ahead and go through the instructions. Alright, let that load. Welcome to Mutant Uprising. This is a simple text-based adventure game. Your choices will be affected by the story being told. So pretty much, you have the choice in how your ending will ultimately your ending and final ranking. There are many bonuses you can pick up along the way. Brutal points you can attain these for acts of extreme and unnecessary violence, but be careful, do not get yourself killed for the sake of a bit of fun. Kindness points, you can obtain these for showing that you have a loving heart. Remember that mutants are people too, at least they used to be. Informational points. The world is going to hell and you need to get out of town, but there's no harm in trying to find out a way why this is happening along the way. So we'll go ahead and go into this. It says items. There are items you can pick up during your escape. Having these will unlock new choices and specific. I can never say that word. Sorry. Scenarios. There are multiple endings available to you depending upon the choices you make and the role you choose to play. You will be judged using the brutal kindness informational bonuses you find. You are given a rank and then a point score at the end of the game. To get the highest rank, try to gain as many bonuses as possible, pick up items, and try to avoid dying. You will be rated on your individual decisions. Enjoy the game. La game. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into this game. Sorry it's a little bit laggy. It's kind of on a website, so usually games that are on websites are a little bit laggy whenever you're recording them. It's just something that happens. So your name is Rick, and unemployed 20-something who lives in a one-bedroom house. After a busy morning getting rejected from your job interviews, you sit down to watch the news. The newscaster is speaking in a panicked tone, which you think is quite unprofessional. Your eyes widen as you hear what he is saying. There has been some kind of disease outbreak. People are mutating in a horrible way and killing anyone who hasn't been infected. Your bowels tighten as you realize this could be the apocalypse. Bowels tighten. Alright, so. Suddenly there is a loud knocking on the door. You almost jump out of your skin. Your heart is pounding, but fortunately you haven't crapped yourself yet. The knocking continues loudly and intensely. What do? Ignore the knocking and keep on watching TV. Go to an upstairs room and look down to see who is knocking. Fling the door open and greet whoever it is with a warm welcome. Open the door cautiously on a chain. Even if it was any situation, I would see who's knocking. You look down onto your doorstep, an upstairs bedroom, and see Miss Mingles, your elderly next door neighbor. She is beating on the front door. Why would an old woman be beating on the front door? With both fists, seemingly trying to break her way in. You are confused as to why she is acting this way until you notice something. There is some kind of yellow goo dribbling from her mouth. This is clearly one of the infected people that the TV reporter was talking about. So we can go to the kitchen and find something to deal with her. Go downstairs in a panic, jump out the window and try to land on her. Get the hell out. I think we should go to the kitchen because usually there might be a knife or some type of weapon. Alright, so you run into the kitchen, then realize this possibly wasn't the best idea in the world. The only way you can get out is back the way you came in. Miss Mingle, I can never, Miggins, that's how you pronounce Miggins, is already standing in the doorway. Pick up the kitchen knife and cut that bitch's head off. Get a raw, bloody hunk of meat from your fridge and offer it to her. Beat the crap out of her. Hide in the cupboard. I'm gonna cut that bitch's head off. Okay, so you pick up a knife with a long sharpened blade. Miss Miggins moves towards you and lets out a husky growl. Carefully to avoid the acidic bile spewing from her mouth, you lash out at her neck and land a mighty blow. A large gash appears in her throat and she falls to the floor. You run over to her fallen body and start hacking at her throat like a man possessed. You scream, "Die! Die! Die!" as blood squirts all over your kitchen and splashes across your face. Eventually, you regain control of your senses. Miss Megan's decapitated head is lying on the floor. You drop the knife. You didn't realize you were capable of such brutality. Still shaking, you decide to get the hell out of your house. Alright. You head out of your house, only pausing to pick up a road sack from your shed. You have a feeling it will come in handy. You need to find somewhere to hide out. Where do you go? Let's go to the town. You enter the town center, I'm gonna say center, and are terrified by what you see. Mutants are everywhere, left and right, and they are killing people left and right in the center. Hideous freaks, worse than any horror movie you have ever seen, are literally tearing people apart and eating the few that comes out. If you don't quickly act, you will join the long list of victims. Hide in a pile of beanbags. Try to sneak by the carnage without being noticed. Panic and start running away like a muppet. Go to the pub. We'll hide in the bags. Thinking quickly, you dive into a stinking pile of rubbish and try to conceal yourself as best you can. You have never encountered such a stench, but it seems to be fairly a safe place to be. It is hidden down an alley, and most of the carnage is going on in the main street. Okay. You wait until nightfall before leaving your hiding place. An eerie silence has fallen upon the town. More importantly, you are hungry. As you head back into the town center, you empty your stomach. What? Urges. At the sight, so he pretty much vomited. At the sight you come across, the main street is strewn with bodies. None of them appear to be moving. Take the long... Okay, so... we're just gonna get through all these bodies, but you have the options of creep through the bodies, trying to not step on anyone or anything. Take the long route around and avoid the bodies altogether. Run through the bodies as fast as possible. I just think we should try to get through. I died. So you figure out quickly so you peg it across the street, stepping on organs until you suddenly trip over. Your leg feels warm and moist for some odd reason. Looking back, you see a mutant gulping you backwards into his mouth like a snake. You are lolling at the ground trying to escape. Another mutant with a mouth like a guillotine Um, it chops on your leg, cutting them off instantly, then gets to work on your head. So we'll go back to our previous checkpoint. Alright, so we head to the main town. That's what we did. And then we have the option where we hide. So we're gonna hide in the bean bags. Bin bags. I should have said bin bags. I don't know why I said bean bags. Alright, so we got nightfall. We could try. Yeah, let's just take the long route. So it says it takes a little longer, but you're not going to risk your life necessarily. You are hungry, so you decide to go to a supermarket and get some grub. As the road, you see the lights are still on and several people inside. Just as you enter, however, you realize that every single one of them is a mutant. Let's just go with that, just to fuck around. So we're gonna go to the toilet. Going to the toilet has never felt so good. You have been holding it in all day. After cleaning up, you head out of the crucible, or crucible. Just compare to church. Okay, cubicle, and stop in your tracks. A mutant is standing right in front of you. He appears to have all the orifices in his face sealed up, yet a circular hole in the through his top, his head. The main concern through is the razor sharp claws spraying from his hands. Attack with the toilet paper roll to the unflushed toilet and say, "Look what I did." Attack with a hand dryer. I think we should just screw with them. That didn't seriously just work. The mutants takes great interest into the contents of the Baland bowl and leaves you alone. You can't really believe that worked. Anyway, it's time to get out of here. The mutants are from the supermarket have seen you leave and they're running and chasing you as fast as they can. Run as fast as you can. You run as fast as you can. Where do you get away? Yeah, that seems like the best option is get a trolley. It works surprisingly. You imagine a sound of Skittles pattering as the trolley knocks the mutants down. Your actions give you enough time to get away. It needs in need of somewhere safe to hide, you decide the police station may be the best place. After all, there would probably be weapons inside. You reach the police station and pause. What is the best way in? Burst through the front door, knock on the front door, and let me in. I'm not a mutant. Sneak in the back. As you sneak in through the back entrance, you disturb a stack of papers that slides onto the floor. You curse your clumsiness, then almost crap yourself as a gun is pointed square at your head. Is the police chief, whose nerves are clearly shot. Who the hell are you? You're one of them, aren't you? You're one of them, he cries. Um, okay. Oh, wow. You plead with the police officer chief not to shoot you, desperately trying to convince him that you are not a mutant. He doesn't believe you, and one of his fingers itching dangerously on the trigger. There is only one course of action available to you. You start taking off all your clothes. The police looks at you, astonishment as you strip all the way, telling him, "Look, no mutant body parts here." He only snaps back to reality after you take your pants off. "Oh God, my eyes," he screams. "Put your clothes back on, you idiot." Despite the rather strange way that you met, as soon start chatting about the day's events, it is clear that the police officer chief's nerves are totally shot, and he seemed to be on the brink of losing it. That's something we might want to keep in mind. It's getting quite late out, and you tell the police chief that you will stand guard as he can get some much needed sleep. He eventually falls asleep. He obviously insane. Shoot him. Start taking pot shots at the mutants outside. Um, we'll wait it out. Alright, so you keep on the street, keep watch on the street as the hours pass. More mutants appear outside the station. Things are getting serious. You wake up the police chief and warn him about the approaching danger. It is time to fight for your life. The mutants have launched an all-out assault on the PlayStation, and the music's not on. Sorry about that. Um, and more appear to be joining every moment. The police chief is screaming obscenities as the wave of enemies get closer and closer. Hold your position. Lead the chief to it. Tell the chief that you have to get out of here. Head to the roof and pick them off by there. If you go to the roof and be trapped. You plead with the insane chief, telling him that there's no he can beat it. He's too far gone and unable to hear you. Sadly, you leave him to his fate. You fight your way through the remaining mutants out of the back of the police station. There were far fewer mutants in the back, but you still do not have enough bullets for them all. Two mutants remain. Their tongues are almost as long as the rest of their body and seem to be oozing a deadly poison. You throw an empty gun on them. Back away slowly. With nothing to defend yourself with, it seems you are totally screwed. You back away slowly from the two mutants as they advance. Suddenly you trip and fall down an open manhole right behind you. Okay. There is an almighty splash as you hit the foul-smelling sewer water. You are dripping with the disgusting liquids, and you don't even want to consider what sorts of illnesses you could pick up from being down here. On the plus side, it seems that there's no mutants down here. Let's move along through the sewer. You finally find another manhole that you reckon is far enough away from the mutants to be safe. You emerge to find yourself nearing the outskirts of town. There are no mutants around. After going a few steps, you realize that you are absolutely stink. This is not good because the stench will soon attract a curious mutant. You need to wash up and get a change of clothes. Here's if you... Okay, so we're gonna go into a house. You carefully pick in a house that has no activity inside. The shower is nice and hot and refreshing. You even manage to find a new set of clothes that fit you. Score. You go to a small shopping district and wonder what your next move should be. Go into an amusement arcade and play video games. Go to the site news agents. Sit on a bench. Let's sit on a bench. I don't like any. You kick back and relax on the bench, wondering if you can adapt to this new mutant-infested world. You reckon you're doing pretty well so far. Then, in the distance, you notice someone walking your way. You play it safe and move on just in case it turns out to be a mutant. You walk along the street. You come across a smashed-up pet shop. There doesn't appear to be any pets left outside, at least not living, all except for a small animal standing on the pavement, a gerbil. It appears to be staring at you, and it makes you slightly nervous. I think we should sing the lullaby. I have a good feeling, because that's kind of an odd place. Oh, okay, so we received Jerry the gerbil. Gerbil of Jerry. Okay. Okay. Get the fuck off my screen. I'm kind of trying to read and commentate. They say that music soothes the savage beast, and that certainly proves the case. The gerbil sniffles up to you and rubs itself against you. It appears you have made a friend. You pick up and release. He is a mutant gerbil with a razor-sharp teeth. You decide to name him Jerry the gerbil. Oh, Jerry, you need to decide. You decide you need somewhere quiet to hang out, and you go to the library. I'm gonna set out Jerry the gerbil. While you are busy looking up porn on the internet, Jerry lets out a squeal. You go to the window and see what he's looking at. Mutants are beginning to gather outside the library. You shout out, "Go away!" Well, you a little bit hungry. Get the hell out. You decide to get the hell out of this town, but you're going to need some transport. What do you do? If you hotwire a car, you could be stuck and still bike. You find an unattended bicycle and hop on. It's good for now, but you're pretty tired and unfit. You have no idea how far you'll have to travel before the decent shelter. You head off to find better. Whatever. You come across a car showroom. There should be easy ways to get into one of these vehicles and climb it for your own. Let's see. Let's send out Jerry the squirrel. Why can't he be a squirrel? Squirtle. Jerry discovers that there is someone inside, and it is a former sales room owner. The skin on his face has melted away, revealing nothing but a skull, and his body is covered in lethal-looking spines. I don't know. This has to be British. You will have to get by him somehow. There's no getting around it. You're gonna have to kill this mutant, but how is the best way you do it? I'm gonna send Jerry the gerbil after him, dude. I bet this guy's a freaking boss. You slip Jerry through a crack in the door and close it promptly. There is a silence for a few moments, and then a single cry and the patter of gushing blood. You open up the door, and Jerry is sitting proudly on top of his kill. Holy cap. You need to find some keys if you're going to use these vehicles. Where would you have the owner kept the keys? I'm gonna send Jerry. Alright, so Jerry soon sniffs out where the keys were located on the desk. Obviously, really, you find an array of keys, all marked specifically for the cars they operate. You get a choice of vehicles to pick from. You'll soon be driving away from this hellhole of a town to find somewhere quiet in the hills, far away from this civilization. Just as you're beginning to relax, you hear a toilet flush and the door opens. You turn to see a wait, what? What? Hold on. You hear a toilet flush. The door opens. Okay, first you have no arms. How do you flush it? this. The door opens and you turn to see a mutant with no arms and gigantic teeth. With his trousers down around his ankles, he lets out a terrifying roar with nowhere else to go. You run into the seating area and discover it's the dead end. Okay, so, you think that this might be it. You spot some hidden weapons beneath one of the chairs. Why would you have a freaking chainsaw underneath that chair? Okay, early hideout for somebody. The mutant is now quickly closing in on you. You have a choice of weapon to strike back. You can use a pistol, chainsaw, shotgun, sledgehammer. Sledgehammer's gonna be heavy, chainsaw has fuel. Pistols, you have to be a pretty good shot. Shotgun is pretty spread out, so let's go with the shotgun. Boom, baby, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we received a sawed off. You pull out the shotgun and a single close round blows off the mutant's head. You reload it in the last remaining cartridge. In the back room, you heard another mutant crying out. In the commotion, you have disturbed him. You have to get out of here. Just let me get a vehicle. You have the keys to 4 vehicles, but you will only have the chance to use one of them before the mutants are upon you. So you have an SUV, back of the middle. I think we should get the try the discounted old Badger out the back. Cars might not be the strongest, but it has got a clear path to the back exit. Just as you start up the engine, one of the mutants finds you and they begin to rush towards you en masse. The mutants are rushing towards you head on. There has to be about a dozen, and some of them are the most terrifying monsters you see. Send Jerry the Gerbil. Get out of the car and run, drive around them, and get through the back. That sounds like a fantastic. You spin the wheels and rev the car, zipping past them easily. The tires squeal. Yeah, that's a weird way to spell tires. Tires squeal as you turn in onto the main road, trying to retain traction. You speed away thinking you're home and dry. As you drive down the main road, you notice another vehicle in your rear. How? Okay. So, to your horror, you realize it is mutants from the showroom. They have taken a truck. You are hunting you down. You are jolted in your seat as they ram you from behind. You are trying to force you off the road. You put your hazard lights on. You maintain your speed and control. Push the car to its absolute limits. Let's just try putting on our hazard lights. You put on your hazard lights. I tried. You put on the hazard lights on in the vain hope that this will get them to stop. Keep their distance. No such luck. With one final attack, your car is forced into a lamppost as you forgot to put on your seatbelt. You go sailing through the windshield and you are dead before you hit the tarmac. So let's restart from previous. You drive onto the road. Fine, I'll go the brutal route. Try to get behind them. So we would have to like stop. On a straight bit of road, you brake suddenly and watch as the mutants sail past you. You turn around and try to lose them, but it's no good. You soon find out that they catch you. So you're going to have to try something else. You made it onto the highway, but you have to do something about these bastard mutants following you. This is your last chance. We're in a vehicle. But do I want to... Okay, we'll just draw along the side of them and shoot them with our last bullet. Expression turns to one of the surprises. You draw out a shotgun. One blast later, he has no expression left at all, and the truck veers off the road and crashes into a building. You don't look back and just keep on driving. Find an abandoned hut in the middle of the woodlands. It is next to a running stream. There's plenty of non-infected and fruit available. You can live here as long as needed. Your companion Jerry, the attack Gerbil by you. You shouldn't be too lonely. You barely escaped from the town and see no reason to ever go back there. Sure, it means never seeing another human for as long as you live, but that's what you have to do to stay alive. You're going happy to accept the hermit lifestyle. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we got a C minus. Yeah, so it says you show some aptitude at surviving the mutant apocalypse, but you'd be best teaming up with a group of people who know what they're doing. Well, thank you, and screw you too. Alright, so here's my scores. So I got 1 brutal, 2 kindness, and 2 items. Silly and ingenuity rank, and 2 deaths, which is probably not that bad. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to click that like button down here, like somewhere in this field or somewhere in this field. But I will see you guys later. Make sure to check out my other videos. I'm looking for a GFX designer or a VFX designer. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out my other